When I was a student, I had a weird method for saving on laundry. I would buy cheap socks in bulk, 10 pairs for $1, and instead of washing them, I would just throw the used ones away and put on new ones. It seemed like genius until my roommate saw a pile of dirty socks in the corner and decided to intervention. He bagged them and sent them to the laundry at my expense. Now I spend more on laundry than on the socks themselves. You wet wipe warrior. I decided to save money on toilet paper by switching to baby wipes. Sounds great, right? They're so soft and smell nice. Everything was great until I found out that these wipes can't be flushed down the toilet. Result, clogged drain and a huge bill from the plumber. The icing on the cake, the plumber reproached me for using those can't flush wipes, as if I was deliberately having fun. You ramen remodeler. One year I decided I would save on food and only buy instant noodles. I bought a box of 200 packages, planning to eat only this until payday. The problem was that I got bored after 3 days, and I started inventing recipes. I added ketchup, soy sauce, leftover jam, all for variety. The last straw was the day I added peanut butter to the noodles. My neighbor heard me screaming at the pot. "Why did you betray me?" Now I can't look at noodles without a fit of horror. You cold showers. Forever. I gave up hot water to reduce my utility bills. It will be character building, I thought. The first month was a nightmare, but I got used to it. The problem was that the boiler broke down in the winter, and now I couldn't get the hot water back even if I wanted to. A week later, I found myself heating water in a kettle to wash my hands. Since then, my motto is, saving is good, until it becomes revenge. You trashed a treasure. I decided to collect expired food from a bin behind the supermarket. Most of it looked fine, so I considered myself a master thrifter. Everything was going great until I picked up a box labeled fruit mix and noticed a strange smell. It turned out to be rotten pineapples, and their juice had soaked everything in the bag. My kitchen smelled rotten for a week, and the neighbors were sure I had a corpse somewhere. Now I save in a different way. I just buy discounted items. You/self-cut fails. I decided that paying for a haircut was stupid and bought myself a hair clipper. It seemed like the best plan, one purchase, and my hair is always under control. But I overestimated my skills. After 2 hours of cutting, in the mirror I looked like a cartoon character who had been shot in the head. My friend took a photo of this and sent it to the general chat. The next day, I still went to the salon, where they offered me a discount for the mental suffering of the hairdresser. You one sock wonder. To save money, I decided to wear one sock instead of two, switching it from one foot to the other every week. No one would have noticed if I hadn't taken my shoes off at a party. The other guests wondered for a long time why I was doing this. I justified it by saying that it was a new fad, but my friend posted it on social media with the caption, "Savings or style? Decide for yourself." Now, every time I take my shoes off, someone shouts, "Where's the other sock, dude?" You hotel hustler. I saved on accommodation by checking into hotels with free breakfast, even though I never spent the night there. I would walk in the morning with a straight face, grab a plate, eat, and leave. But one day I got caught showing up at the same hotel 2 days in a row. The receptionist grabbed me by the sleeve and asked for my room number. In a panic, I said, 102, and ran away. After that, I never took any risks with hotels, although sometimes I think it was my best adventure. You/fruit by the fence. I decided to save money on buying fruit by picking it from trees in a public park. It was fun until I noticed the police were watching me. It turns out I was picking fruit from a tree that belonged to the city hall. I got pulled over and nervously explained that I just wanted healthy food. The policeman laughed for a long time, said I was a genius at saving, but still issued a fine. Now I buy bananas like any normal person. You, bread bag shoes. To avoid spending money on new shoes in rainy weather, I came up with a brilliant solution. I wrapped my feet in plastic bread bags. It worked great until I went to work like that. One bag broke and my feet squelched all the way to the office. My colleagues offered me new shoes as a gift, and my boss said, "If you want to save money, at least buy rubber boots." Now they call me Bag Guy at the office. You Candle Collector 99. I decided to save on electricity and used candles instead of light bulbs. Everything was romantic until one day I forgot to put them out and fell asleep. I woke up and there was a fire alarm in the apartment. The neighbors were already running out of the building, thinking that everything was on fire. It turned out that the alarm was triggered by smoke from a candle that had burned down to the furniture. The result? A fine, apologies to the neighbors, and a ban on candles from the management company. You DIY plumber fail. To save money on a plumber, I decided to fix the faucet in the kitchen myself. I bought a cheap manual on YouTube, unscrewed something, but it didn't unscrew. I decided to pull hard. Water gushed out like a fountain, flooding the kitchen, the neighbors below, and even the cat. Result? I called the same plumber I wanted to avoid. He held back his laughter while I explained that I just wanted to save a little. You/milk moocher. For 2 years, I drank free milk that was left in the shared refrigerator at my neighbours. They thought it was from the housing company, and I considered it my rent bonus. Everything came to light when my neighbour left a bottle with the inscription, "This is laxative. Bon appetit, thief." I drank it and regretted it. Now I buy milk myself, but I'm still ashamed to look my neighbours in the eye. You soap share gone wrong. In order not to spend money on shampoo and soap, I decided that it would be more economical to do so at a public swimming pool. There are free dispensers there. But one day, I overdid it, standing under the shower with a whole litre of foam on my head, and a security guard came up to me. He loudly asked, "Do you have a subscription for showering or swimming?" I was kicked out, and my friends now call me the Foam King. You leftover lover. To save money on lunches, I would go to cafes and pretend to wait for someone. Then I would eat the dishes that the waiters hadn't had time to take away. Everything was going smoothly until one waiter asked, "Would you like a menu or would you like to continue your tasting?" I ran out of shame, leaving someone else's portion half eaten. Since then, I've been buying my own lunches. You toilet paper tycoon. I decided that spending money on toilet paper was too bourgeois. Instead, I borrowed paper from the office toilet. I took a pack several times until I noticed that the administrator had posted a notice. Paper runs out too quickly, the thief will be found. I got scared, stopped, but I was so embarrassed to go to the office toilet that I decided to work from home. You shared Wi-Fi surprise. I saved on the internet by connecting to my neighbour's Wi-Fi. Everything was going smoothly until one day they changed the password to, "You steal my Wi-Fi, pay for it." I got the hint, but decided to wait until their new password became available. 2 days later, they simply turned off the router. Now I'm sitting in a cafe, spending more on coffee than I saved on the internet. You/StrawSaver88. I decided to save on glasses and used the same coffee cup for a whole month. I washed it every day and was proud of myself. But one day, a colleague noticed that it was all wrinkled and dirty and said, "Hey, maybe I should get you a new cup." He bought me a thermos, but it said, "For those who are too cheap to buy a cup." You expired king. To save money, I bought only expired products. Most of them were fine, but one day I bought a pack of cottage cheese for 5 cents. It looked good, but tasted like acid. I thought it was just a strong aroma, but the next day I had to take a sick leave because of terrible food poisoning. Now I have learned to save, but not at the expense of my health. You Coupon Craze 70. I decided to save on everything I could with coupons. It seemed like the best idea. I found a bunch of discounts on a website and spent a whole month making every purchase using coupons. The problem arose when I started getting a bunch of products that I never ordered. It turned out that I had accidentally subscribed to a mailing list of promotions with automatic purchases. The result? An overflowing garage and not a penny saved. You Furniture Hack Fail. Instead of buying a bed, I decided to make one myself from pallets I found at the supermarket. Everything looked perfect, until I heard a strange cracking sound during the night. One of the pallets collapsed, and I found myself on the floor. The next day, I bought the bed anyway, but I kept the pallets for the cat. They suit him better than me. U2 Green for gas. When gas prices skyrocketed, I decided to switch to a bicycle. It seemed economical and useful. The problem started in winter when the roads were covered with ice. One time I had such a bad fall that I had to go to the emergency room. Now I have a new way to get around. The bus, which costs less than my medical bills. U Soap Scraper Master. To save on soap, I collected the remains of old pieces and pressed them into a new piece. In theory, it worked, but one day the piece fell apart, right during use. Since then, I have been haunted by the smell of a mixture of all the scents at once. The neighbors think I have a perfume factory.